White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Stephen, did you have any clue that Zelensky was going to come in hot like this?
I don't think anybody had any idea that Zelensky would be so impertinent, so disrespectful, so insulting to the United States of America. Look, this is one of the great moments in the history of American diplomacy. The way that President Trump and J.D. Vance stood up for American interests on the world stage, the way that President Trump defended Americans after years of being fleeced and abused and taken advantage of and taken for granted, millions of American hearts swelled with overflowing pride today to watch President Trump put Zelensky in his place. The only reason that Zelensky has a country, that Zelensky is in power, is because of the United States. Americans have suffered economically, funding this war now for years. American security has been degraded, our stockpiles depleted, our ability to project power in other regions of the world negatively affected to protect and defend Ukraine. Americans probably don't even know the true extent of just how much military support on multiple levels and fronts America has provided to Ukraine. And then this man shows up in the Oval Office and lectures us, says we have to do more, says we're not as good as Europe, says that we need to provide them a forever war guarantee, fight Russia till the end of time. No American watching that today says they want to send their sons and daughters to die on behalf of Zelensky. And President Trump was clear and firm and principled, saying either you're our partner for peace in ending this war, or we can't work with you. And Zelensky, for the first time since this has begun, finally met a Western leader willing to assert their own interests, the interests of their own country, and not bow down to and venerate this man as a messianic figure. Americans have watched with horror as Zelensky has been treated as a messiah. Our hearts all break for the suffering and loss and death. But you know what will be even worse? World War III. And today, President Trump said, we are not going to let this escalate into World War III. He defended the Oval Office, he defended the White House, and most importantly, he defended the American people. And I was honored and proud to be there to witness this moment in history.
You know, what was so confusing is that Zelensky doesn't have a second option. It's not like there's other great nations that he can just turn to sponsor this proxy war. He doesn't even have Europeans willing to step up and help him out to the level that we are. So to me, this was a kamikaze mission. It was almost like he was unbalanced to come in here and explode like that. Any normal, rational person would have come in, been gracious, shown some gratitude. Where do I sign? Let's move forward and let's get this deal done. The fact that he didn't do that kind of scares me.
He couldn't even say thank you.
No.
Just couldn't say thank you. Thank you, America.
And that's like diplomacy 101.
Us.
That's what they tell you to say on the plane. You're about to meet the president. He loves to hear thank you. The American people need to hear that. Say that right away.
But I mean, it was not just that, though. There were many remarkable and disturbing things that Zelensky said. He repeatedly rejected President Trump's statement that we should pursue a ceasefire.
Right.
How could you reject a ceasefire? And you know, he kept saying Europe's doing so much more than us. Well, then what do you need us for? If he's saying Europe's so great, then why are you coming and begging and pleading to us for money and protection and guarantees? President Trump is a peacemaker. He will fight for peace. He had peace for 4 years under his previous term. And today we saw what it's like to have a strong leader in the White House, and the whole world saw what it's like to have a strong leader for America.
All right. Well, I think they're going to patch things up. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I think they will. Stephen Miller, have a great weekend.